One thing that I found in 30 years of doing hypnosis is that no two people's minds work the same. You'll hypnotize one person, it'll work great. He'll go in hypnosis, he'll come out, thinking it's the best thing since buttered bread. And then you hypnotize another person, you think it's going to come out the same, and it doesn't. Some people are hypnotized very easily. Some of them are more difficult. Some of them just won't do it because everyone's mind is different. And the same thing works with spiritual healing. Since everyone's mind is different, no two people really, you're not going to take two people and do them the exact same way and expect the same result. So, especially when it comes to spirituality, everyone has different amounts of belief. I might say, I'm going to say this to you and you're going to be healed. And it might work for you, and somebody else saying, I didn't feel a thing. So the whole idea of this pyramid is there's something here that can help just about anyone depending on where they're at. There's healing according to different brainwave states. Some of them that you do as hypnotherapists or different modalities with chakra, with things like that. So there's all different ones, but this is from our course, the spiritual healing course, where we have the 15 methods and we show how to do each one and actually have guided sessions through each one. So this way you can speak to your client in your interviews and find out how their mind works, and you can pick the thing or the method that best works for them. Okay, so if you look here down at the bottom, we have actually the conscious methods. At the very bottom, you would have modern medicine, the physical medicine, the psychiatrists, psychologists, MDs, all the different things they do. They're very important, but they're going according to the conscious mind. And of course, there's a lot of resistance. Some people are healed, some aren't. It all has to do with their belief system. Now, let's see, moving up a little bit. So we have applied, basically what this is kind of, if you ever seen the postural sway type thing, or where you could hold something in your hand and think, is it good or bad? You close your eyes. There's technique a little bit more involved in this, but if you lean forward, it's good. If you lean backward, there's pendulum healing, there's chakra healing, things that you're doing that are physical. With the pendulum healing, you're actually holding the pendulum. You're doing something physical. Then we get into the lighter brainwave states, or the deeper states, the alpha brainwave state, which is a relaxed state, which is alpha is part deepness, so part going towards theta, but part is still a little bit of the consciousness there. There's affirmations and mirror work, which is one of my favorites. Like I say, you look in the mirror and you smile, and it's hard not to laugh, especially if you look funny already. But there's imagery-based healing, there's self-hypnosis and hypnosis. Those are mostly alpha. Now, I'm just cutting the line somewhere. Some of them will go into theta as well. Okay, so I know the hypnotist watching me saying, oh, no, hypnosis is theta. Well, yeah, you can do some in theta, some in delta. But the deeper states of alpha is about the best place for accepting suggestions. Why? Because their mind is open, plus they can still hear you. They can still respond to you if you want to ask questions back and forth. Then there's the theta brainwave state, okay? Theta is when you're getting into things like I said, the Theta 7 protocol, which is a whole new kind of hypnosis we've created or developed last year that's been going unbelievable. It works on analytical, non-analytical. Pretty much anyone can be hypnotized with this, as long as they want to, because you can never hypnotize somebody who does not want to. Meditation, meditative healing, intentional healing, which intentional healing is Reiki, or what we teach is a Reiki-like type healing in our course. And Reiki-like means where you're not needing all the different symbols. You just do it, okay? And we talk a lot about symbols and rituals and these kind of things. And you have the deeper level healing. You have the channeling, distance healing, which we're going to be talking a little bit about later on, psychic healing, and spontaneous or faith healing. And then there's pure belief. That could be delta, that could be even beyond. So again, depending on your level of belief, there's a healing method to be able to suit, I guess you could say, anyone. What I want to do is a pain release process with you, or a mind hack. So I see we have quite a few people watching, so there's a lot of people who can help. But before I do it, I need to do a disclaimer. Pain is a warning signal. So if you're experiencing pain, before you try this, you need to find out what the pain's from. You need to get together with your medical practitioner, with your psychiatrist, psychologist, whoever it is you need to see for that kind of pain. Pain is a warning signal that something is wrong. So please go ahead and get it looked into, because hypnosis, or what I'm going to be doing now, mental healing, is not a replacement for modern medicine. You need to take care of it, because if you say, oh, I'm having chest pain right now, I'm going to go ahead and see you to get rid of the pain. Yeah, I'll get rid of it. But you might have a heart attack, okay? What I'm going to do is get rid of the pain, because pain is in your mind, and I can change your mind for pretty much anything you have. But it needs to be healed. It needs to be. So if you're having pain, if you're having discomfort or something like that, find out what it's for first. Then come back and listen to the video if the doctor says it's okay. So with that said, everybody nod. I want to see somebody say, yes, I understand, so I can move on. With that said, we're going to go ahead and do a technique, one of my favorite techniques for pain release. I've done it many, many, many times, and it's worked every time. Sometimes it gets rid of the pain completely. Sometimes on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're at a, let's say a 9, it might bring you down to a 5. Then I tell people, just do it again. Do it again. It'll bring you further and further down. It has to do with the concept of the mind. How do I say it? Pain is not real. Okay. It's subjective. It's not objective. This is objective. And if you think your pain is objective, hold it up on the screen and show it to me. It's not. It's subjective. So pain is of the right mind. Is like it's something you can't see. It's not tangible. But once you make it tangible, once you change its nature and turn it into something, it's no longer pain, because you can see it. So what we're going to be doing is turning your pain from subjective to objective, so you can let it go. So with that, if you're ready, you don't really have to close your eyes. You can leave them closed or open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be asking you questions. I don't know how many of you are actually going to be going through the process with me. But if you are, just so I know, it'd be really neat when I ask a question, type your answer in the comments, just so people can see who's following along. So while we're doing it live, go ahead and type your comments in there so we can see each step, because it's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to be asking you some non-personal questions, but it's interesting to see the answers. And for those that are following after this, when it's not live, leave your comments then too. It's just interesting to see them. So what I want you to do is think about the pain, okay, that you're experiencing. If you were to put it in a box, how big a box would you need? Would it be a 5-foot box? Would it be a 1-foot box? Would it be a small box about 3 inches? So if you were going to put it in a box, how big a box would you need? So if any of you are doing this segment with me right now, go ahead and type that in. I want to see how big the boxes are. And I want you to think about that box. That is the pain. The pain is in that box. Now let's go a little further with it. I always take notes as I do this, because it helps me to remember the questions I ask. So number 1 is the size of the box. Number 2, if the box had a color, what color would the box be? If it had a color, some people will say orange, brown, black. Let's just say, for the sake of this one here, it was a brown box, okay? And let's say the size of it was 12 inches square, since I haven't gotten any comments. So we have a lot of people watching, but either they're too bashful to type, or everyone's feeling great, which I'm thankful. Everyone's feeling great. No one's experienced pain. So we get a 12-inch box that is brown. Now, if it had a smell to it, here's where it gets fun. what would the box smell like? So a lot of people will say there's a lot of different answers, but one of the most common ones I had was sulfur. Okay. Sulfur, eggs. In my case, I'd say pickles. Okay. So we have a 12-inch box and it's brown and you're holding it in front of you and it smells like sulfur. If you were to go a little further, okay, what would it taste like? Hmm. Would it taste, some people will say bitter. That's a common one. Think of that. What would the box taste like? So now you're holding this 12-inch box in front of you. It's brown. It smells like sulfur. It tastes bitter. If it had a sound to it, what would it sound like? Oh, screeching. High-pitched screeching. It could be anything. It could be a humming sound. It could be uh, some Klingon opera. It could be anything weird, okay? So what would it sound like? Now, if you look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different senses. Isn't that amazing? What we did was we created something conscious, something physical. So think of that box right now. The pain is now that box is 12 inches large. It's brown. It smells like sulfur. It tastes bitter and it's screeching. And imagine yourself walking to a window right in front of you, opening the window. And as you look out, you see this abyss, nothing but just downness, darkness. And you throw the box in and watch it go out of sight further, further, further. And it's gone. How do you feel? And people will, because they'll have forgotten about their pain when doing this, and they're going to go, wow, it's gone. Or most of it's gone, and you do it again, and it's gone. So this is a wonderful program to be able to do with your clients, with your family, with your friend. But be sure when you're doing this, okay, that before you do it, you do the disclaimer again to protect yourself and especially to protect the client. So you're not getting rid of pain that should be there. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration or this mind hack on how to eliminate pain. Now, this is just one of many, many methods that we teach in our spiritual healing course. And spiritual healing course, like I said, is a new course we just put out with 15 methods of healing. And a lot of those methods have several methods within them that you can use for any mindset. And to take a look at that, click on the link below the video, and you'll see the wonderful opportunity that you have to help people and help yourself.